Hi class, how are you today? That's great! The learning target for today is to be able to calculate the length of an arc and the area of a sector. For the scale, you're 3 if you can calculate the length of an arc and the area of a sector. You're 2 if you can calculate the length of an arc or the area of a sector. You're 1 if you can calculate the area and circumference of a circle. And you're 0 if you cannot calculate the area and circumference of a circle. Let's get started. Circumference and area of a circle. So the circumference of a circle is 2 pi r equals d pi. So 2 pi times the radius, or the diameter times pi, because diameter is just double the radius. And the area of a circle is pi r squared, so pi times the radius squared. So in this example here, for our circumference, we have 2 pi r, so 2 times pi times 5, because 5 is the radius. So 2 times 5 is 10 times pi. And we just leave it as pi, so 10 pi. Don't try to turn it into a decimal. I want an exact answer. So similar with area, pi times radius squared, so pi times 5 squared. 5 squared is 25. 25 times pi, so 25 pi. We're going to be using these two things to help us find arc length and the area of a sector. So, the arc length and sector area. To find the length of arc AB and the area of sector ACB. So by the sector, I mean the area within angle ACB up to the arc. So to find the arc length, we call it S. And the arc length of a circle is 2 pi r times theta over 360. So 2 pi r, remember, is the circumference, and theta over 360, so that's the number of degrees out of 360. Because 360 is the entire circle, so we want the amount of the circle that it is. So in this case, we have our radius 8 and our degrees of the angle 108. So that will give us 2 times pi times 8 times 108 out of 360. So if we multiply all those things together, 2 times 8 is 16, and then you do 16 times 108, and then over 360 and reduce it as much as you can. And that will give you 24 pi over 5. So the arc length of arc AB, the actual measure of it, rather than the degree measure, the length of that arc is 24 pi over 5. To find the sector area, it's very similar. So with that, we take the area of a circle, pi r squared, and multiply it by the amount of degrees we have over 360. Again, this time it's 108 out of 360. So we do pi times 8 squared, and then times 108 out of 360. So again, now we do 8 squared, which is 64, times 108, and then put that over 360 and reduce. And this will give you 96 pi over 5. So the area of that sector is 96 pi over 5. And that would, of course, be in whatever the units are squared. So in this example, I want you to find the area of the shaded region, the part that's in pink. All we know here is this is a 90-degree angle. So we've got a right triangle here. And we've got a radius of 6. So there's two things you need to find here. You need to find the area of the sector. So I'll just call this ABC. So find the area of sector ACB. So if we find that area, so the sector area, however, that'll give us the whole thing. We just want the pink part. So we'll have to take away the area of this triangle. So we'll also have to find the area of the triangle. So remember, for sector area, what we'll have to do is pi r squared times theta over 360. So it's going to be pi times 6 squared times 90 over 360. So that'll give me 6 squared is 36 times 90 divided by 360. So 90 over 360 is just a fourth, and then so 36 divided by 4. That would give me 9 pi. So that's a sector area of 9 pi. Then the triangle area, well, if that's a radius, we know that this is also 6, because they're congruent. So area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height. So in a right triangle, the two legs are the base and the height. So in this case, it's 1/2 times 6 times 6. So 18. So the area of the shaded region is going to be the difference between the two. So we take the sector area of 9 pi and subtract the triangle area, which is 18. And we can't simplify that any more than that. So it's 9 pi minus 18. If I asked you to round, you could give me a decimal, but I usually prefer exact answers, so it's 9 pi minus 18. Alright, now time for the sponge. 3 things. Number 1, find the length of arc MN, so find the arc length. Number 2, find the area of sector MON, so the area of the full sector, not just the green part, but everything in that sector. And number 3, find the area of the shaded region, so find the area of the green part. That's it for the lesson. Once again, please make sure to take notes in the entire lesson. Go back to the beginning, rank yourself, take a picture of everything, including attempting the sponge, submit it all to Google Classroom, and have a good night.